This movie starts with a stripper named Venus. She is not the usual girl next door type heroine. She is a soft yet sensuous stripper living in Los Angeles, who falls in love with one of her customers, Brian, an Australian photographer. The male lead is mourning the death of his wife. It's evident from the first scene that he isn't over his wife's death yet. Venus invites him over to take pictures of her. She wines and dines with him and slowly falls in love with him. He tells her that she reminds him of his late wife. Venus is smitten by him. As their relationship progresses, the viewers witness their affair go from intense chemistry to one of them becoming distant. Brian is slowly losing interest. He acts aloof and isn't interested in hanging out with Venus like before. After listening to one of his voicemails, she suspects him of having an affair. After a lot of deliberation, she confronts him, and he says that it's his late wife's best friend and she just wants to meet him. Venus isn't quite satisfied with that explanation, so she follows him to a restaurant where she finds out about another woman. He seems happy with this new woman and breaks it off with Venus. She descends into madness, sitting in her bathtub. Venus drinks copious amounts of wine as she slowly loses her sanity. She is afflicted with jealousy and experiences hallucinations. Venus was once a woman who loved to play piano. She was a poised woman who took ballet classes. But when her love is thrown away, she devolves into chaos and violence. When Brian is photographing her for the second time, she is seen wearing a mask. He tells her, "Let's lose the mask." She is becoming unhinged. She suffers from bipolar disorder, and her delusions result from that disorder. She sees a snake hissing and crawling toward her. Another allegory is for Brian turning out to be a liar and cheater. Whenever she hears the neighbors playing music, she smokes a pipeful of marijuana. Is it the neighbors playing the music, or is it her mind going bonkers? Probably both. Perhaps the latter. It's for the viewers to decide. Venus' character quickly loses her balance. Her deranged behavior makes her scribble notes on Brian's car. Things turn unsettling when Brian's new rendezvous comes to light. Venus loses her sanity, and her hallucinations get out of hand. During one of her mental breakdowns, she attempts to choke her stripper friend to death, who is trying to help her come out of her breakup. The last 15 minutes of the movie is where things get really interesting. She is seen sitting with a doctor who asks her what happened to Brian. When she says she doesn't know, he tells her that she last visited him at his apartment. He unravels a few pictures which stun the viewers. He is photographed in his closet. He is dead, with blood oozing out of his forehead. Is this another allegory for his love of taking pictures, since he loves to photograph women in their most vulnerable moments? His last scene in the movie is him in photographs where he is soulless and dead. There is a scene in the movie where Venus is looking at her blood-stained hands. She is horrified and guilt-ridden. This represents that she is genuinely guilty of the violent act she has committed.